Okay. Okay, guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Harmonics. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button, press on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload my next video. So today we are going to look at the weekly market forecast for some of the major pairs, and we'll also be looking at the yen pairs. We'll then look at some of the correlation, the fundamentals, and other stuff that are happening to some of the assets on the market. Feel free to drop your comments and don't forget to like the video. Okay, so last week we saw some major situations on the chart where we have the CPI news, which made the dollar fall for some times, and we had some of the pairs dropping, or some of the dollar pairs dropping. Now we are going to look at what is at stake for the dollar index and what we expect the other pairs, the direction of the other pairs, as in the dollar pairs that we have on the market. So let's jump to the chart and see what I have for you guys for this week. Okay. Okay. So let's look at DXY. Let's look at DXY. Let's look at DXY. Now with DXY, you can see over here, we expect the dollar to rise to complete the flat pattern formation before we see the down move, yeah? So expect DXY to go up, the dollar index. So we are going to have the strength of the dollar coming in from this point. After this break of the trend line, we are expecting the dollar to move to this resistance zone. So expect the dollar to gain strength from now to the weekend, yeah? Now, once it gets to this resistance level, then we might be looking at a short, to short the dollar. Okay, so what does this bring, or what does this tell us with the other chart, the dollar pairs? Now, when you, let's go to Euro USD to check what is happening on Euro USD. Now, last week, when the CPI news came up, we saw that the dollar fell for, as in we had bad data for the CPI, so the dollar fell. Now, let's look at the inflation figures for the dollar. Let's look at the inflation figures for the United States. Let's go to economy. Now, the United States inflation figure is around 5. The core CPI, which is around 5.5, yeah. But the CPI is around 5. Now we have the interest rate figure also at 5, yeah, but the core CPI is around 5.5. That means that we still have interest rate fall below the core CPI. Now, when the FOMC news was released, I think the market has already priced in a 0.5 basis point of the interest rate. So what we are expecting is definitely we want to see the interest rate go higher than the inflation figures. And that would actually tell us that the economy is doing well. So I believe that the next interest rate news, there might be a 0.5 hike on the interest rate. And that's why I'm looking for the dollar to rise in the coming days, okay, or in the coming weeks. So expect the interest rate, maybe the interest rate might move to 5.5, then the inflation figure might move to maybe, might be stable, might move to 4.5 or 4.75. Then that means that you see that the interest rate will be higher than the inflation figures. Then you can say that the economy will not be stable. Now, once the interest rate goes higher than the inflation figures, then there will not be any need to increase the interest rate again. So now the US Federal Reserve will now be looking for long-term reduction of the interest rate. Once the country is stable or they've tackled the inflation figures, now they'll be looking at long-term reduction because they increase interest rates for they increase interest rate to tackle the inflation figures. Now that inflation is dropping, they will be looking at long-term reduction of the interest rate by to be at a lower pace, okay? So maybe when it gets to FOMC, maybe they will be looking at 0.25 reduction of the rate for a long-term period. So for the meantime, we have to look at the dollar gaining strength. The dollar gaining strength for this period. Now, you see that DXY, it has broken, it looks like it has broken this level. Okay, so once it breaks this level, then you might say this is a change of character. Okay, so expect the dollar to go up all the way to this resistance to form a flat pattern formation. Okay, now let me show you why I think it will go up. Even let's compare dollar to let's compare dollar to a moment. Let's look at CAD JPY. Okay, CAD JPY and now look at this. Let me change this one. Now you see that we have this up move. This is the up move. It came down. This is the down move. So we are expecting it to go up to this level. So the DXY is yet to go to this level. Now, this DXY is lagging because the Central Bank of Canada has already hiked their interest rate. So we saw CAD getting some momentum for some time now. Now DXY is expected, the dollar is expected to also go for that move. Now, this one will factor the rate hikes that is expected. There might be a 0.25 rate hike coming in. Okay, so expect the dollar to also go up to meet this, to form this structure too. And this structure, you see, when you look at CHF, you look at AUD, NZD, they've all done their rate hikes. So you see that they've already taken them, they've taken the lead already. Look at, let's look at maybe AUD JPY, AUD JPY. Look at this. So AUD JPY, it also formed that move. Okay, so it's now going to, yeah, it's also going, they've already taken the lead. When you check AUD CHF, let's look at AUD CHF. AUD CHF. Okay, AUD CHF has already, for that one, is far gone. It completed the move over here. It completed the move over here and it's far gone because CHF started their rate hikes a long time ago. Now, for some time, CHF was actually in negative inflation, negative interest rate figures. Now, when they started getting a lot of inflation, or their inflation figures started going up, for the first time, they started hiking interest rate. So CHF took a leading turn and we saw that move, CHF becoming strong for a long while. So look at CHF. Let me show you guys CHF. Now, CHF, now when you check over here, you see that the inflation figures, they were at negative figures. Now, for the first time, we saw CHF inflation figures move to 2.9. And the interest rate for Switzerland was not being high for a long time. When we saw the bank of, or the inflation figures for Switzerland shooting up to 2.9, it required that the Bank of Switzerland had to increase their interest rate to correct the inflation figures. So you see that for the first time, we had the CHF increasing their interest rate from the negative figures to 1.5. And that is why they increased their interest rate. Now, as someone will say, all the other economies have increased their interest rate to solve the economic shift, or the shift in the, with the economic crisis that happened, there was a shift in policies to correct all those anomalies. Now, if we had CHF increasing their interest rate, which is also a safe haven, why is the Japanese yen? So let's look at the Japanese yen. Now, when you look at the Japanese yen, we have inflation figures moving all the way to 3. But look at interest rate. The interest rate is still at negative figures. So someone will say that, why is the inflation figure for Japan at 3.3, yeah, but the interest rate is still lying at 0.1, then that means that people will be expecting Japan to increase interest rate. But trust you me, the best that Japan will do is to set their interest rate to 0.0. There's no way Japan will increase their interest rate to 2 or 3 to meet up with the inflation figures. Now, the reason is that Japan is an export-driven economy, and because they need a lot of money to produce more, to serve a lot of industries, to serve the globally, to serve so many countries, they will need very cheap loans to be able to get access to good capital, to be able to produce more. Now, if the a lot of countries are advising the Central Bank of Japan not to increase interest rates, because when you increase interest rates, that means that the cost of borrowing in Japan would actually be very, very high. And it will also require that Japanese companies or investors in Japan who have assets in foreign bonds or who have invested in foreign investment would have to withdraw their money to be able to pay their interest on the loans, because the current loans are negative or 0.0. So the highest you see a Japan loan is negative figure or 0.0. Now, if you are to increase the interest rate for Japan do a lot of investment in foreign bonds, okay? They invest a lot in foreign bonds because that's where they are going to get interest on their money, or they are going to get value for their investment. Now, if you are to increase, or the Bank of Japan is to increase the interest rate for Japan, it will mean that their investment rate will go up and their loan rate will also go up. So it will also mean that companies or investors in Japan would have to go for their funds in foreign countries to be able to service the loan, to be able to pay for the interest on their running loans. And it's going to crash a lot of economies, because these people make a lot of money and they save in foreign countries because their interest rate is always below the 0.0. So a lot of advice is being given to the Central Bank of Japan not to increase interest rate. And that is why the United States has seen a rate hike, the Switzerland has seen a rate hike, the Bank of Australia has seen rate hikes. We've seen the New Zealand seen rate hikes. Bank of Canada has seen rate hikes. Okay, but the Bank of Japan is still not increasing interest rate, despite inflation figures moving to 3.3. Okay, so that is the reason why the Bank of Japan is still not increasing interest rate. Nevertheless, no matter what is happening, we will still see strength in the yen in the coming days. Sentiment will still shift to see the yen getting stronger. Okay, now why am I saying that? Now let's look at Euro-Japanese yen. Let's look at Euro-Japanese yen. Remember, the yen and the CHF are all safe haven assets. The yen and the CHF are all safe haven assets. Now look at this, yeah? And let's look at Euro CHF. So you can see that there's been some sort of divergence. So from here, we had the market go up, went up, came down. Now, you can see that the CHF has already started the down move. But, okay, but the yen, Euro Japanese yen, is still, we are still expecting the yen to bring in this down move. It has still not happened. So in the coming days, expect the yen to gain that strength and move the Euro Japanese yen to the floor, okay? Because there's been a complete divergence in the whole market, okay? There's been a complete divergence. So once CHF has already taken the move down here, they are all safe haven asset, the yen and the CHF. So why is it that they've all been going the same direction? Now the CHF has taken the lead because the Central Bank of Switzerland is still hiking interest rates. So CHF is gaining strength, but the yen is still not gaining strength. So it means that sentiment, even though the Central Bank of Japan is still not increasing interest rates, sentiment is still going to push the yen to fall, okay? So expect that once CHF is gaining strength, you should be expecting the yen to be selling, the yen to be gaining strength. That means Euro Japanese yen and the other yen pairs like pound Japanese. Look at pound, let's look at pound CHF. Okay, and let's look at pound JPY. This is perfect correlation. Look at this. Sorry. Okay, so this is pound JPY, and let's look at this pound CHF. This is pound CHF. Now, you've seen the pound CHF. Okay, the pound CHF is falling. So there is it. This is the pound CHF. Yeah. So this was the move. It went up, came down. This one came down, went up. Now, at this current zone, the pound CHF is falling, but the pound JPY, because this one too went up, but the pound JPY is still sitting at the top. So you should be expecting the pound JPY to be falling in the upcoming days, yeah? And that is why I'm looking for the yen. Sentiment is telling you that the yen might be gaining some strength, even though we might not see a hike of the Japanese Bank of Japan not increasing interest rate. Sentiments might be pushing the yen to be stronger. Okay, I don't know the news that might push it, but in the coming days we shall know. So let's look at be positive for the yen. The yen has a lot of rooms to make a lot of money. So look out for the yen. Now let's go back to our chart and see what I have for you for this week. Okay. So now let's look at DXY again. So I said we still expect DXY to gain some strength to the top. Okay, we're expecting DXY to still gain some strength to form a flat pattern formation. Okay, so it means that pound JPY, we should be seeing a sell. So this one might hold. We have an ending diagonal over here. We should be seeing a sell all the way to this bottom here. Like we have DXY also going up. We should be expecting a sell. So we can have something like this, okay, and drop, okay, or we'll just have it straight up coming. Okay, so expect pound JPY to be dropping to the floor. Okay. Now let's look at Euro JPY. The same move, same as pound JPY. Okay, so same as DXY. Expect Euro JPY. Now, what is happening is that it's forming a flat correction. This could be an expanded flat correction. So it can go below this one. Once it gets here, it will move to the top. Okay, to move to the top. So expect it to drop down. Okay, expect Euro JPY to fall. It's already falling. So expect Euro JPY. Now, when you go to the lower time frame, so this current move, look for a break to the supply zone, then you'll be looking for that move. Okay. So expect Euro JPY. Now, once market is going in the impulsive move, don't chase the market. Wait for the market to give you some retracement, then you can join. Okay, so expect Euro USD to fall to this level before we see that move. Okay. The same way with AUD USD. AUD USD might be different. We might see the fall. Okay. There are two scenarios. Either we see a fall to this support zone, then we see the buy. The reason is that the AUD USD has already started the move already. Okay, it has already started the move. It started it earlier. So we might see it form this as an impulsive wave, then ABC flat correction as B. So we have A, B, C forming B, then C. So W, X, Y. So we might see this move, this one falling to this support zone. Then maybe we might see it create a double we might see it create a double top, or it might break to form an AB equals CD pattern. It's a correction. Okay. Then it will drop from here. Remember, it can also drop all the way here. So, but I still expect it to get to this level, go here before we see the drop. So for now, expect AUD USD to be selling. Okay. So once you see corrections like this, you join the sell. Once you see corrections, you join. Like this one, you see, we have another impulsive move. You can have A, B, C like this, then you join the sell. So look for these corrections and join the sell. Okay. So let's look at other pairs. USD CAD, you should be expecting a buy move. Should be expecting a buy move for this pair. Okay. So this one might give us a buy move over here. It might give us a buy move to the top before the drop. Okay, so look for a buy move for USD CAD. Look for a buy move for USD CAD. Okay. So this one has caused a break of structure. So let's see if we can have it come back to the demand zone, then we can join to the top. Okay, so this is for USD CAD. USD JPY, amazing. Now, USD JPY, we had an impulsive move, ABC, running flat correction, so we should have another impulsive move. Now, what you need to do is that target the same distance from here to here, okay? Target the same distance and push it here. Okay, so you should be expecting more. I told you those in my WhatsApp group, and I told you that we might see USD JPY going up more, okay? So it's the same, this move, I saw it on, it had a direct, look at this move, yeah? And look at CAD JPY. So CAD JPY, this is it. Now CAD JPY, instead of it forming a running flat, it formed an expanded flat. So this ABC, it is, CAD JPY is now at the ceiling. So we might expect a drop around this level. Now, USD JPY is yet to see that ceiling, okay? It's yet to see that. CAD JPY went down, okay? But USD JPY formed a zigzag radar. So we are in a correction phase. So it's yet to even see the ceiling. So make sure you look for more buy opportunity for USD JPY. Okay. Now, NZD USD is not the right pair now. NZD USD, even though it's a sell, is not the right pair, but it looks very good. Okay, so so it's just a sell for this pair. Now, this is already in the impulsive move. Okay, so what you need to do is wait for it to move into the supply zone, then you can join. Okay. So there was a signal here. Okay, so wait for it to hit. You cannot chase this one. If you sell here and goes here, you'll be hot. So wait for it to move into the supply zone and get a trigger. Once it moves into the supply zone, you can sell and put your stop loss here. Okay. And so far as DXY is still going up, you'll be holding your trade, adding new position. If you're holding your trade, adding new position. So far as it's going to that zone, you'll be adding new position. Okay. You'll be adding new position. So I'm expecting it to come and hit the floor here. Okay. So that's NZD USD. That's NZD USD. Okay. USD CHF, the same way. I expect a buy move. It's gone so fast. I expected, so wait for the break of this level. Okay. So let's go to the 1 hour. Now this is a break of structure here. The liquidity is taken. Now what you need to do is wait for it to come to the zone, then you can join to the top. Okay. So don't rush to chase this impulsive move. It's already gone. It's already gone. So kindly note that. So wait for it to form a higher low before you can join. It's already gone. Okay, so that's USD CHF. Now let's look at the yen pairs. The Japanese yen, you can see that the yen is still on the floor. It's still on the floor. I'm expecting the yen to gain some strength. Now let me look at this. Okay, so once you see the yen breaking this level, then it will be, then you see the yen gaining some strength. If we are able to see the yen break this level, then it will be very, very good for the yen pairs. Okay, so now Euro JPY, let's go to Pound JPY. Now Pound JPY, let's go to 4 hour. Let me see something. So on JPY is tricky. It can reverse over here. It can reverse over here. Yeah, it will look more sense to me if it reverses over here, because this one will complete a Gartley pattern formation. So it will be a very good confluence if it's able to reverse around this zone. Okay, around this zone will be very, very good. But it can drop here. But I still expect it to move up a little to this zone, okay, to complete the Gartley formation before. Or we can even have something like this here, then it goes up before dropping. This is also possible. This is also possible. So this is what I expect. It can go up here and drop, or it can just give us ABC flat correction, then go up, then we have the final drop. And this one will form a Gartley pattern formation. Okay, Euro yen is quite, it looks more ready for the sell. It looks more ready than, now I'm targeting this level. So it might form an M pattern over here. So if Euro yen should fall at the current price, then we can have something like this, go up and fall. Okay. So something like this is what I'm expecting for Euro yen. Okay. So if you are selling, make sure you look at this zone. Look at this zone. Okay, so Euro yen, I'm expecting a sell on Euro yen. Once it breaks this level, then you should know that we are going in for the sell. Okay. Once it breaks this level, then know that we are going for the sell after this support level. And this one will form an expanded flat correction. Okay, A, B, C. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see if we can get a break of this level. Okay, we have NZD-JPY. See, NZD-JPY has already taken the lead. It has already taken the lead. Some pairs have already taken the lead. Okay, this in a channel. That we've seen some great fall for this pair. So So I'm still expecting this one to form a harmonic pattern. Let's look at this. 50, so maybe we should expect it to hit 88 to complete a bat pattern formation. So we might see a bat pattern form here. Okay. So this is a good place to sell. This is a very good place to sell ZDJPY. It's a very good place to sell ZDJPY. We have our signal here. You can sell at the current price, put your stop loss below here. You can sell at the current price, put your stop loss below here. Okay, for NZDJPY. Okay. We have our crossover sell here, so you can sell here, put your stop loss here, and expect it to go into this direction. Okay. So we have AUDJPY. AUDJPY is also yet to see that move. I don't think we are still going to see AUDJPY. This is what I'm expecting. So we had this move. I'm expecting it to form something like this. Yeah, then maybe this before the drop. So I might be expecting a fall of AUDJPY. Now, when do we expect a fall? Once we would be going in for the fall if it breaks this level. Okay. If it breaks this level, then because we want to see this as an impulsive wave, then a flat correction. Yeah. Then another impulsive wave forming a WXY. Now, once it finishes, then we'll have another impulsive wave to the downside. Okay. So if we see a break, of AUDJPY, set an alarm here. If we see a break of AUDJPY, then we should be looking in for the sell to form an expanded flat correction. Then we have another impulsive move to the top before we see the buy. This one can also go down all the way here, but I don't expect that. Okay. Just like this correction moved, A, B, C, flat correction, then it drops. So I'm expecting a zigzag, but this one should give us an alternation. The B for the zigzag should give us an alternation, which form the X. So A, B, but the B is forming a flat correction, and then the C. Okay. So yeah. So this B is what is forming that expanded flat correction. Then we have the C, and then it drops. So once we see a fall of a breakout of this price, then we should be looking for, on the lower time frame, we should be looking for selling opportunities. Once it's able to break this, okay. However, this one, yeah, it can still go up like this to form an expanded flat before dropping. Okay, because expanded flat, if this A, the B has to go above the start of A. If it's a regular flat, then we might see it break at the current price down. But if it's a expanded flat, it has to go one more up before it drops. Okay, so it depends on the kind of flat that is forming, whether regular flat, expanded, or running flat. Okay, thank you. Okay. So CAD JPY, it looks good. Even though it's a sell, don't be in a rush. It's not, it has finished. So this looks more like an expanded flat. So we might see it might drop at the current price, okay? Or it might go up a little to form an expanded flat before we see the down move. But currently, it should drop from the current price, but we want to be very careful. It can go up to form an, like this one, the way this one came down. It can break the high over here, okay? Can break the high, break liquidity over here, yeah, then it will drop. So, and that will be an expanded flat. Currently is now forming a regular flat now, more like a running flat. This is a regular flat, expanded flat. So it depends on the kind of flat that's forming. So what you need right now is a break. Okay, we need a break. So once you see a break, you can set an alarm. Once you see a break there, you'll be looking for selling opportunities to the floor. Okay. CHF JPY, that's the only stubborn safe haven asset. Because CHF is strong, because the Central Bank of Switzerland are still hiking the rate, CHF is still strong. So we might see it now over here. Maybe we should look for harmonic pattern. So we can just draw it this way. And CRB, which is 61, it has already exceeded. So this is not a pair I'll be looking at. It's now, you see, yen is a safe haven, CHF is a safe haven. So becoming, when the yen becomes strong and pairs are falling, XSS JPY are falling, it will also fall. But for now, let's be patient with this one. It has reached the CHF is strong, and there's no fundamental reason why yen should be strong. It's just that yen can be moved by sentiment. And because CHF is strong, we can have Euro JPY, Pound JPY all falling, but CHF JPY will still not be falling. So we can take CHF JPY out of our portfolio. Okay. You see Euro CHF has already seen the sell. Now, from last week, I gave you this analysis and I told you it's going to form this one. It's almost at the take profit. So, so 538, you might see it go to, okay, so it's coming here, 88. Yeah, it's coming here, 88. So we still expect more sell for Euro CHF. Okay, CHF is still strong. They are still hiking interest rates. So, and Euro USD might be falling. So you see that euro might be weak. The CHF might still gain some strength. So expect euro CHF to still fall. Okay. Now this is a bat or alternative bat. It can still go below this one and form alternative bat at 1.13. So it can still come here. It can still come here. Yeah. Oh, this is at 50. Okay, so it will not come here. I don't expect it to come here. It tied the 50, so it is 88. So let's expect it at 80. We have another ride for Euro CHF. We called the trade when it was around here. We saw the trade when it was around here. So it's still selling. So let's anticipate this move. You still have one sell. You can sell over here, put your stop loss above here. Okay, and hold the trade to here. So still expecting a sell, put your stop loss and hold your trade. Okay. So we have one move down. Okay. Okay. AED-CHF, AED is gaining strength, but this pair, don't be looking at CHF is already gone. So don't be looking at CHF pairs. Okay, CHF is strong. It has already sold for a long time. So AUD-CHF has sold for a long time. So I would recommend that instead of you looking at AUD-CHF, you should be looking at AUD-JPY, because AUD-JPY, let me look at AUD, this on the daily time frame. So you see, look at this. We had an up move all the way here, went up. Now, AUD-CHF has broken the support. It's yet to get here. It's yet to get to this support. Okay. So instead of you looking for selling opportunity for AUD-CHF, rather look for AUD-JPY selling opportunity. You get it? Because CHF, they've already hiked their interest rate for several times because of high inflation. Yen has not hiked any interest rate. There's not been any policy shift of the yen. They are still holding on their negative interest rate figures. But sentiments can push. That AUD has also hiked their interest rates for the year. So unless maybe September thereabout, that will be looking for major interest rate figures. But for now, yen is the last currency or economy to see a shift in their policy. So instead of you looking for AUD-CHF sell, rather look for AUD-JPY sell. Okay, the same thing with pound CHF. I think we've already done that. So pound CHF. So instead of looking for pound CHF sell, see, rather look for pound JPY. Look for pound JPY, which is still at the ceiling. Okay, which is still at the ceiling. Look for pound JPY rather sell, because pound CHF has already, CHF and JPY, they are all safe having asset. So when it got here, this was it. Yeah, this was it. So it has sold for a long time, but this one has given us lower low, lower high, or higher low, higher. It's not giving us any higher. So if it will sell to follow pound CHF, because they mostly correlate. So rather look for pound JPY rather falling. Okay, instead of trading pound CHF. Okay. What's the next pair? I think that's it. US oil. Okay, I'm not looking at it. Let's look at DX, how do you call it? US 100 or NASDAQ. Gold. Okay, so gold, you are looking for selling opportunity for gold. Okay, you are looking for selling opportunity for gold. So in the worst scenario, there is BOS here, break of structure. Now, at least let's see it move into the demand zone. Okay, so rather be looking for more selling opportunity for gold. Look for more selling opportunity. Now you can see that when it breaks here, that's change of character. Okay, so we can see it. It can move like this, then like this. Then you'll be looking for the sell for gold. Okay, so this is gold. You're looking for selling opportunity for gold. At least you can target these levels. Okay. So look for selling opportunity for gold. Silver, the same thing. The same thing for silver. There is break of structure. So see it in the demand zone, then you can go to. So look for the lower times, we look for selling opportunity for silver. This impulsive move, don't join this impulsive move. Wait for a correction. Okay, then you can join the sell. Okay, so don't be in a rush to join this impulsive move. Wait for that good correction and join to the down. US 100. US 100, I was expecting to hit the harmonic pattern, to complete the harmonic pattern. So we saw the trade around here. We saw the trade. There was a change of character here. I see. So there was a change of character. Came back, broke liquidity and started going now. So this was a sharp or cipher pattern. Okay. So this was the one, and this was where I expected to end. It got there. Okay, so there are two scenarios. It's either this whole move is a flat pattern, which would end at 88 here. Okay, so it can just hit this one and go down. Okay, or just move down from here. Now, one thing you should note is there is probability to that once it breaks this level, it can still go up. So what you need right now is a break on either side. Okay, ABC. So basically, it's something like this. I'm expecting something like it. Just like the CAD JPY and the rest. So just like the CAD JPY. Just like this move. Okay, so we can have something like this. Yeah. Okay, then we see a fall coming. The same way, let's look at US 30. We have ABC. Now US 30 already took the lead. There was a change of character here because this was a choke. So we might see it like this and break. Now this will form a harmonic pattern. So we move our fib here. This is 50, so we expect it to hit 88. If it should break down, then we are expecting to hit 88 fib. Okay, so and that will give us a bat pattern formation. Like this, okay. So this is a flat pattern. This is an expanded flat. ABC, expanded flat. So so it's going for another impulsive wave, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, like this. So I'm expecting a sell move of this here. I'm expecting a sell move of this pair. Okay. Okay, someone is saying, please, you were saying something like when the inflation rate goes down, we need interest rate to go up. Please, I can't state the point, or if you understand, can you explain? So what I'm saying is when inflation figures are high, like Ghana like this, if inflation figures are high, the central bank, the Bank of Ghana has to hike interest rate, okay, so that it will correct the inflation figures. Now, when they hike interest rate, a lot of people move their money into the bank, okay, because inflation is when a lot of money is chasing fewer goods or limited goods. So once they hike interest rates, investors the citizen will push their money into the bank. Once they put their money into the bank, the money in circulation will be reduced to mitigate inflation. So once a country's inflation figures are high, the central bank has to hike interest rate to correct the inflation figures. So that's what I mean by inflation and interest rate. Okay. So US 500, S&P 500, I was expecting a sell around these levels to form a kind of cipher pattern. Let me see. Okay, so it's formed a shark rather. It's formed a shark. Okay, so we had this expanded flat correction. Okay, so we can have can have this. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Now, this one can just mitigate to form a truncation. So this is basically we 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this can be considered as an expanded flat correction. So it can go here and drop, or it can just drop from here. Okay, so you can have this, then drop. Okay, or you can just drop here. When it drops here, that is a truncated fit. Truncated fit. Okay, so okay, that's all I have for you. If you have any question, make sure you drop it in the video. If you have any question, make sure you drop it on the comment section. If you have any question, make sure you drop it on the comment section. If you have any question, make sure, and please make sure you share the live, you share this video to your friends to also have an insight on the markets for the week. Okay. So now I'll be dropping the link for the brokerage. If you want a very good broker, then you want to look at FVS, and they have very good deposit and withdrawal options. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, make sure you like the video, and I'll be coming up with the weekly market forecast every week. Okay, so we have the STR strategy course coming up. If you've not enrolled in the STR strategy course, to be able to understand all this, make sure you enroll in this course. So make sure you give me, make sure you enroll in the STR strategy course. It's very, very important. If you need a very good broker, I'll drop the link in the description. It's fvs.com. Make sure you sign up with fvs.com, and you can have even micro lots to trade with the micro account. We have the standard account, we have the swap free, all the accounts are swap free. You can deposit with Momo, mobile money, Visa card, everything. Okay. So once you open an account with our recommended broker with a link, we'll add you to the VIP group for free, so that you can enjoy free VIP signal from us. Okay, so until I come back again, my name is Dr. Harmonics, your favorite mentor, and see you in the next